Hello, 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 and welcome to Childcare Challenges and Dilemma in Daycare. Well, it's been quite a while, and I have so much, so much to say. But first, let me sip in my glass of wine to clear my throat, because this is going to be a lot. Let's first say that I'm glad my name is being thrown around, and not really, but known about that I am the type of provider that do not stand for what most of these inspectors are doing, providers. I got a call today from a provider totally in distraught, saying an inspector came to her house. So upon the inspector arrival, this provider is on vacation. I said, yeah, it is our duty, first and foremost, let me be clear, that when you know you're up for an inspection or whenever, before you're up for an inspection, at any time, you have to let the state know that you're closed or you're on vacation, right? You have to let them know. I understand that some of us have been doing this for so long and in a way, but there is changes that's made in, and they made a changes rapid, right? I just want to clear that out in the area. Well, upon arrival at this provider home in particular, the inspector, the husband was like, okay, well, we're on vacation, we're closed, we're not here. And this provider just got enough. Didn't have the time to brush her teeth, didn't have the time to take a coffee, didn't have this, what's still in her PJ? The provider's like, I'm not gonna let you in. They like, we can't let you in. She's like, well, if you don't let me in, then I'm gonna cite you for whatever the thing is. She didn't remember the name. So I'm going to write you up for refusing to let me in, right? She's like, but I have no kids. So I'm closed. I'm on vacation. She's like, well, you still have to let me in. Anyway, provider, of course, we're doing their job because the state is very intimidated. Yes, they are. To let you know, like they did me, and I'm letting it know. It said, we license you so we could do whatever we want to your house, right? So that's what they said. Yeah, we license you so and that's not happening, right? In my house in particular. No, you license me, yes, but you're not going to come in here and disrespect me. And that's what a lot of inspectors are doing over and over. They're doing it to family childcare. Family childcare. I know people with censure that don't go through this disrespect, right? But anyway, so back to the story, she let her in. As she let her in and she sat there, she's going through, she said, well, I'm going downstairs to search, which is where I'm licensed. So she went downstairs, she searched, there's no kids. When she said, well, now I have to go upstairs. I said, my husband and I we just got up, we in our PJ, we're not even out. Well, I still got to go in there. So she went in there and I'm about to have her information because this is ridiculous. About find out people know who these inspectors are. So she went in there. She let her in. She sat there. She go over. She said, "Listen, my house is a mess. I'm on vacation. Again, please let licensing know when you're closed, when you're on vacation, when you're going to be open. I know now they want to know how long you're going on vacation, who's taking over, who's going to watch. If you have a substitute and the substitute is going to be there, let licensing know the substitute is going to be in charge. You're going away for a long period of time and you're going to completely close your daycare. I'm going to go back to what I was saying. Please let license know that you're closing to prevent these things from happening. Please let them know I am closed. I do not have a substitute. Even though I have a substitute, my substitute would not be in my daycare. I am closed for X amount of time. Please be transparent with them because that's what they're going to come up with. That we're not transparent as family childcare provider and we're not informing them. So they let their inspector come out and inspect us. And we say that we're closed, but we're sitting home. They have right to come in. They do. In the red, as long as you're there and someone is at opening the door, you have to let them in. Let them come in and check. So she's explaining back to this. She's explaining to the husband opened the door, explaining to them, listen, we still in our PJ, we still not here. This lady's out on the phone, call her supervisor. Listen, she's refusing to let me in. She's like, I'm not refusing, I just got up. The supervisors is a problem. I'm telling you, because these supervisors stuck around the office and do nothing. And they don't understand what you like. It's a real life. So anyway, she stuck in there and she went in there. Called a supervisor, whatever supervisor said. She let her in. She let her see. Now she's telling her, you know what? Let me do a full inspection. She's like, I can't let you do a full inspection. You could come and look and see that there's no kids left and leave. This lady stood there for 2.5 hours. She's like, while I'm here, let me do a full inspection. She's like, no, I'm not, because my house is not in order. I'm on vacation, right? Until after January, whatever. For 2 weeks, I'm closed. So I'm not going to let you do a full inspection. Oh, so they denied the inspection? No, I'm telling you, I'm closed. My house is not in order. I'm on vacation. You check everywhere. There's no kids. Or you're going to leave. You would think this lady would walk out, right? No, she did not. She stood there for 2.5 hours. Have this lady watch a video on the regulation for an hour and a half. Watch a video on reg, what the do and the don't, and take pictures. Now, you guys are coming out here, and she tell her, listen, if I was doing a full inspection, I'd be here for 5 hours. You have nothing else to do but to sit in my place, my work job for 5 hours. So now she's saying, this is a do, this is a don't, this is a reg. Provider asked her, is there a way that we could have the copy of the book ourselves? That's not my job to give it to you. That's their job. Go download it. She's like, well, this provider that don't have printer, that don't know how to use the book, tell them to go figure it out. But you showing this provider a video for an hour and a half video on rules and regulation, and not just on one video alone, what they can and cannot do. That's one video, what you can and cannot do for the right. This is ridiculous. There has to be a line that's been brought that's not somewhere. I'm not saying not to do your job. That's not what I'm saying. We all have a job to do. We all have to go out there and make sure kids are safe. And you guys are making the home is safe. And trust me, the one that needs to be inspected, you guys are not doing it. Because I personally know and I've seen it. But you guys want to do favoritism. Now, she went there. She had her watch the video for an hour and a half, which I wouldn't allow it because I'm told them on vacation. I would be calling my lawyer and have your supervisor and your legal team on it, because everything they call their legal team, guess what? We're going to meet legal team. I'm on vacation. Understand? You want to cite me for not notifying you that I'm on vacation? Go ahead. Provided didn't notify the state that she's on vacation. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead. Cite me for that. But you're not going to have me sit with my vacation time, my paper time, my time that I'm getting everything in order, goes over all my paper, make sure my paperwork is right. You cited me. Then she tell the provider, after watching this hour and a half video, her board that she have, we have like the board, we put up all her license, all the CPR. This lady have her CDA, she have all this, the food program, she have all this different things, right? She said, well, you don't need to see all that. I don't need to see all that on the board. You can't tell a person what they need to put on the board and what they don't need to put on the board. And then she's like, well, you know what? Another thing, I'm telling providers what I want you to have your paperwork in a 3-inch binder. Are you going to pay for it? Are you going to staple it and do it? No. She wants us to have a paperwork in a 3-inch binder. She don't want to see any other food program or anything on that board. This is in New Haven. Okay? She don't want to see no paperwork on that dashboard except what it is. So the provider is like, I can't do that because I have to do your rules. We have so many rules that we have to go by. The food, the nasty, CDA. We have pyramid. We always having all these stuff that we have to do. But it seems like there's a confusion with breakage because we following pyramid, we following the food, we following the state, we following all these different rules. But then one come to the house and say, licensing will be like, well, we're licensed then, so we don't care about the rest of them. And then the rest of them come in and be like, well, we don't care about that because we gave you this. Either way, we do. You require us to have all this. So anyway, go back to the story. She asked her, this is what I want. Watch this thing, put this thing, this is what I want to see in the board. Now she's like, I'm not going to do it. Well, now she said, I'll suggest it. Great, you can suggest all you want. But OEC is not the only person that we have to answer to. Yeah, you guys are the one that give me the license. You're correct. But you're not licensed. You guys tell us that we need to do professional development. And we do. You tell us that we need to get NASTY accredited. We do. You tell us that we need to be elevated. We did. You tell us that we need to get CDA. We did. You tell us that we need to do pairments. We did. You tell us that we now you mandated that we get food programs. We can't do it if you go to the large family child care. So now you're going to tell us we need to do get me in the food program. And we did. And you're not understanding. All y'all need to come together to find out what a common ground that you guys could help these providers, that when you go in, you don't cross and tell provider what to do, what to take out, what you don't want to see, what it is. You guys are sitting there like not common ground with everything. Well, everybody go back to licensing. Now, this lady sat there 2.5 hours going through paper. Where's the paperwork? Here it is over there. Where's it? Here it is over there. Right? This lady was so like, she's like, I've been doing this for so long and I've never had this. Never had this problem. I'm just, yeah, so are you new? She's like, yeah, I'm new to this area, but I'm not new to this program. And then she told her, and I dare you to do it. She told her, when I go into a provider house, this is what I do. If I'm going to cite you for something, I take pictures. If I have children in here and no pictures are allowed, I'm making it loud and clear. Ain't no inspector coming in my house taking pictures. You're not allowed to take pictures in my house. This is my property. You're not doing it. She told her that she's going these provider homes. And if she's going to cite them, say, for example, a plug, right? You forgot a plug. There's a wire hanging. She takes pictures of that wire. She takes pictures of the plug. She's like, well, I take pictures and bring it back. Where in the reg that said it? She's like, well, yep, this is what I do to the provider. And then she's going to say she did to a provider. A provider was changing the baby. And when she changing the baby, she washed her hands, she did everything. But she said, the provider said, listen, hey, the provider was so scared. And I could tell this is a Latina provider. Trust me. From the way she spoke and the way she was saying it about a provider, I know. And this is why I stand up for my Latin community. So she said she did to the provider. The provider was like, listen, I didn't know. I'm sorry. I don't have no glove. Guys, ladies, gentlemen, you're not required to use the glove to change. As long as you wash, as long as you clean the station, wash your hand after, you done everything, changing the baby, you're not required to use the glove. You know what she cited the lady for? Not knowing that she's not required to use the glove. She cited this lady, and you wonder why our home insurance don't want to insure us? You wonder why our home insurance is skyrocket? You wonder why provider can't get insurance? This is ridiculous. Now, when a parent goes there and see that, when the insurance company goes there and see that, they don't know. They don't know this is what this lady does. They don't know that, listen, it's just for hanging card. What do you put on safe hazard? A provider not knowing that she don't need to go, oh, well, it's her job to know the reg. And provider show her receipt saying that, listen, see, I'm showing you that I purchased it. I'm showing you, see, that I purchased it. I did it. You could tell by the way she's just explaining the thing that this provider was trying to do everything right. She washed her hand, which is right. Health and safety. She changed the baby. She sanitized the table. She started. This lady started. She sanitized the table, but then she cited the provider just for not knowing she don't need a glove. These are the people that they hiring. This is why I'm telling providers, if we want change, when you guys are closing, the one that's closing the daycare and not going to do this for long, if you could go in there and go for these jobs and hire, that's the only way we can make change. If providers could get elected, go there, and that's the only way change is going to happen. If we could speak up collectively as a team, that's the only way change is going to happen. I'm one voice. I do everything I can for y'all, but y'all have to come and help too and have your voice be heard. I can't be the only one speaking up for you guys. When you guys are afraid to speak up, are you afraid of the retaliation? They already know about me because, of course, she went there telling them that, listen, I heard about the provider that blah, 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 podcast and blah, 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 talking about this. So they know about me. It's not that I'm disrespectful. It's not that I don't appreciate your job. It's not that I don't appreciate you doing the health and safety and making sure kids' well-being are being met. But you come here in my daycare telling me that you sit in for 5 hours after you finish your paperwork to observe me with the kids. Okay, you want to observe me? You can observe me how I interact with the kids while they're doing it. This observance is a part of your care now. This lady, 2.5 hours, no children. I could understand if there was kids. Ain't like, well, I'm going to be back and I'm going to sit there for 5 hours. After that's 7.5 hours. I'm going to be back one day next week because she opened next week. This has to be some common ground between providers and inspectors. And not even a provider, there has to be some common ground with this licensing and everybody else that's sitting there that giving us these rules. Food program, the OEC, the NAFI, because we have to do NAFI. So if NAFI rules, and NAFI trying to make sure that we go above and beyond, cross every T, dot every I, make sure everything, because they're not going to give you accreditation because their name is behind it. So if I'm doing everything what NAFI requires, and I'm going above and beyond what NAFI requires, and I'm doing everything with every other program, because then you guys need to come together and write one rule. This is what we're looking from our provider. Pass it on to NAFI, pass it on to the pool, pass it on to Elevate, pass it on. But you can't have different entities have different rules. And then when licensing come in, they're like, we don't give a nonsense about that when you are the one to tell us to go get these things. But yet, when these inspector comes into our home, these doesn't matter. So why you telling providers if you don't get accredited by a certain time, then this and this, you could possibly not be in business. If you don't get accredited, if you don't get your Elevate, if you don't do this, if you don't do that, if you don't do this by a certain time, if you don't have your degree by a certain time, then it's the possibility of you not having stuff and not getting stuff. If it doesn't matter. It makes no sense to me. I need someone to make it make sense to me. Because I know you're watching. There are providers that's going out, providers that's giving their life. And you going to just come in and get that's it? No respect for us? We're not glorified babysitters. We're not. We don't sit there and just put them in TV all day and be like, okay, go ahead, sit on TV, sit in the high chair and that's it. That's not what we do. They're milestones for these kids that we make sure that they're being met. Kids come in here with trauma, and we have to make sure that those traumas, we have to heal those traumas. Kids are coming in here from broken homes, and we're their safe haven. Glorified babysitters. That's what you guys think we are. And we're not glorified babysitters. I don't categorize us as that at all. That's why when I go out, I represent us as school because we're professionals. We're professional in this field. It's already bad enough y'all don't want us to charge what we have to charge because y'all think that we're charging too much from all across the board. So what y'all said, oh, have 6 kids, have 9 kids. Well, guess what? If you have 9 kids, they need a substitute. Now we're going to be able to have 12. But guess what? With those 12 kids, we need to make sure that you have a payroll, have enough square feet inside and out. I apply for the 12 kids, but not everybody like me that have the square footage. You gotta make sure you substitute the thing, you gotta make sure you substitute the payroll, you gotta make sure you have this and that and all this thing together. But then we do all that. It's not fair. And then when you have providers that really need to be interrogated, I know you can't tell who needs to be interrogated from who don't. I understand that. But if a provider said they're on vacation and they're not there and they let you in because of what your supervisor said they let you in, have the common courtesy to show some respect in that person's home. Don't have them sit there watch an hour and a half of video of rules and regulations. Yes, it's okay to give them the site. Listen, you know what? Here's the site. We have a YouTube channel on the rules and regulation. You could go there and see. And they do have a YouTube channel, guys. that you could go and see rules and regulation, and you can watch it anytime you don't understand something. You can watch it. But like I said, the supervisor they condone these nonsense. How would you feel if you're on vacation and I come into your home and be like, okay, and you didn't tell me that you're on vacation and I come and I'm like, okay, listen, I gotta come in. I'm gonna call my supervisor. And I'm gonna cite you for not letting me in. Now that you come in, I let you in. This is why the people know the rules and regs. Please watch it. Have it play in your background so you hear it. They have it on YouTube. Have it play. Because the older inspectors, or they want to call themselves licensor. No, inspectors, licensor, inspectors, whatever. Because you guys think we're glorified babysitters, you guys have no respect for us. So, hey, the older inspectors are retiring. And they have these new inspectors that come in here that don't understand. So you guys that are doing this for a long period of time, please learn the regs. They have a lot of new regs that's coming up in 2026, and please go there and see what the new regs are. See the new regs that's there, because she pull out those regs. She wants you, if you don't know the regs, she's going to cite you for not knowing it. I didn't know I'm in school. And this is ridiculous. You should not have to sit there and cite me because I don't know. As long as I'm doing everything right. Okay, you know what? Some people just have to go over, because I'm quite sure not everything you know in life either, because you're learning. There's no such thing as a perfect human being. So for you guys going in there saying that, oh, well, if I was doing a full inspection, I would have cited you for this and that. Exactly. Oh, I would have taken pictures of the outlet and show my boss, this is what I cite you for, because you're not going to sit there. What ghetto nonsense is this? You're not going to sit there and have me lose my job. And tell them, oh, but I cite you for this. Because I'm going to take pictures of everything. You will not. And I'm telling you guys, no, it's not allowed. You guys are not allowed to come into my house, my private property, my home, and take pictures. Not allowed. If that's the reg, I need to see it in the reg where you guys are allowed to do that. Yes, when you guys come in my house, which I'm allowed to do, you guys are all being recorded. Everything you say from the moment you park in front of my house is being recorded. You're being recorded from the moment you step foot in my property. Even when you drive by, and then your destiny, she sat outside. Oh, so you're doing second shift, right? She sat outside her home and wait for how long to see if other kids are coming in for another 2 hours. She sat outside for another 2 hours to see if second shift kids are coming in. I was just spending 2.5 hours inside, doing whatever, saying whatever. This lady can't brush her teeth, can't stop for a cup of coffee, can't even change out of her clothes, couldn't even go to the bathroom because she just got up, because they come early. Then she waited to see there, that's how long she waited to say second shift. Second shift is from 3 to 11. So you do the math. They say they don't have enough inspectors. Apparently that you guys do have enough inspectors. Because if you guys didn't, you would have someone sitting there waiting going to someone's home for 5 hours, on top of 5 hours, then they sit outside and wait for another 2 hours. So y'all and supervisors not doing your job. I understand that people are behind in kids. I do. I understand that people sit there and tell you story. I do. But form a way where providers to come to y'all and talk to y'all. Stop making them feel like criminals. And I said it to the commissioner before. We're being criminalized. Not even a pedophile go through interrogation like we do. Not even a shoplifter. But we're being criminalized. And I said this before, and I'm going to say this again. Their motive is to drive family childcare out of business. And if you guys don't speak up, they're going to succeed. I could sit there and talk as much as I can. I could sit there and make my voice be heard far and wide. And Connecticut is not the only state, because I'm in groups where I'm hearing it. Canada, Minnesota. Look at what just happened in Minnesota. That's another episode. Until next time. Thank you for tuning to Childcare Challenges and Dilemma and Daycare. Please like, share, and subscribe. And I'm on all streaming platforms. You can find me on Pandora, Amazon, iHeartRadio. Any streaming platform you think of, I'm there. Like, share, and subscribe. And if you have a story to be told, you could email me and I'd be more than happy to share your story. We could do this by Zoom. I don't care where state you are, what part of the world you are. We all in this together as a team. We all have to let our voice be heard.